Hey everybody, hope all of you are doing good. I got the Skull Island Arsinoitherium done, and honestly, I really like it. I like how he turned out. This guy took me about, God, I don't even know, 10 months to sculpt, possibly a year. It's been a while. Uh, and yeah, I got him done. At least I think so, mostly. Yeah, I mean, I got a little bit more mod podging to do, but it ain't like it affects the creature as a whole. Um, I mean, it would still look the same to you guys. So yeah, he's not he's not bad looking. I really like him. I guess we'll start up on the face here. Got his eye, got his eyeball right there, pretty much the clear color with the brown iris, I think, and the black pupil with some red in the back. Same thing with this eye. Yep. By the way, that clearish kind of color I'm using for the eyeball is shit, I don't really got any on me at the moment. Hold on a second. Let me go grab it. I'd like to show it to you guys just so you know what to use. Here it is. So I think I got this from Hobby Lobby, I believe, possibly Michael's. This stuff, it says glow in the dark, but that's some horseshit lies right there. It ain't glow in the dark. But as you guys can see, it comes out sort of a oh shit. Well, I missed that completely. Where'd that land? Oh, hold on. Landed there. Kind of looks like bird shit, you know. Comes out clear and it kind of it dries in sort of like a weird how do you say, kind of a clearish color, but the way it dries is weird, you know. It doesn't glow in the dark, which again, some horseshit lies, but it dries in sort of like this very kind of clearish look on it. Like you see the white in there, that is what this looks like. What this looks like dried up. So if you guys want to know how to do sort of a realistic-ish eyeball like that, that's what I use, and it works damn good. Works real damn good. But back onto the beast at hand. Yeah. So here he is, the Skull Island Arsinoitherium. I think honestly, I love him, and it is a him. It's a bull. You know, he got a big old rhinoceros schlong right in between his legs. Hold on. Yeah, you guys can kind of see it there. Don't got no external testes. The reason why I did that was because, actually, this animal is not a rhino. Both the real life version and the Skull Island version. Arsinoitherium is in a family called Athrothera, and Athrothera is pretty much elephants, which is like the main face of the group. It's elephants, manatees, dugongs, which are like relatives of manatees, aardvarks, because aardvarks are not related to anteaters, they're related to elephants. They're in the Athrothera family. Hydraxes, which look like groundhogs, kind of. And then Arsinoitherium and relatives like this. So even though this thing looks like a rhino and is pretty much a rhino, it's more related to elephants. And rhinos are perissodactyls, which means rhinos are more closely related to horses and tapirs, stuff like that, while this guy is more closely related to elephants, which to me is awesome. And that's kind of badass thinking about, like, the thing that this is sort of like a elephant creature that evolved to look like a rhino. That is pretty cool. Not an elephant, but a relative. Close enough. So anyway, back onto the creature again. As you guys can see, he's very heavily scarred all over his body. Hold on. I'll give you guys a full 360. So here's the main body with his armored plates covered in moss and algae, which is the green stuff, which I'll give you a little zoom in on that. The kind of thick mosses. If you guys are wondering how I did that, I just put thick blobs of paint, let it run down, and then when it was semi-dry, I put slashes through it to make it look like moss. So then, yeah, this guy's covered almost head to toe in claw marks and wounds, because again, he lives on Skull Island. Very rough neighborhood to live in, very rough place to live in as a whole. You got to be a tough creature to live there. So as you guys can see, you got a claw mark there on the side of his chest. You got one there, there, and they all kind of vary in how deep they are. You got one on his head and face. Turn him around. Got one near his. You got two of them near his face there, varying in deepness. Got one on his neck, the armpit right there. I think I showed you. Big one across the side of his body here. Two little ones. Little puncture there, and on the bit there, he got a claw mark on a piece of armor here. He got a very long claw mark on his what is this? On his right horn. And then he got another one here with some smaller ones. And yeah. So as you guys can see, he's very scarred up. Oh yeah, and he got one on this plate on his back too. You guys can tell that most of these claw marks are on his actual skin. Predators have targeted the softer parts on his body, with a few of them kind of just going for whatever. Those ones probably didn't win the fight. Considering this dude's still alive, I guess, he did good. He survived all these attacks. These are probably from Venatosaurus packs or possible carvers. Might have been attacked by a carver or two. Possible Photodon, who knows? I don't know if a Photodon would go for this guy, but you never know. Vestatosaurus, possibly. He might have been able to fight off one Vestatosaurus, definitely not two. This beast is no match for two Vestatosauruses. Possibly he could hold his own against a pack of Venatosaurus. A giant Venatosaurus, probably not, especially if there's two of them. But the algae helps him camouflage in his dark forest environment, which covers most of Skull Island. The beast retreats up into the highlands and the mountains to sleep during the nighttime, with adaptations to help him scale such an environment. As you guys can see, these massive claws, very big Calicathera-esque claws, which over time were gained over generations that had to adapt to certain altitudes. It was actually only gained after a few generations, just due to how quickly beasts evolve on Skull Island. It's kind of adapt or die quick. So again, a lot of these adaptations were gained quickly. As you guys can see, though, there's still some regular toes. Like the fourth toe here is vestigial and still retains a hoof on both sides. Oddly enough, this creature is able to stand partially on two legs, both to reach higher browsing and sometimes to defend itself. In interspecific combat, these animals do not use their sharp their sharp horns to fight. They actually rear up on hind legs and claw at each other, with whatever male being successful, owning the general area that they live in, and being able to mate with any females that are around. These animals never did live in large numbers on Skull Island. After they evolved to the environment, a lot of them began to die out or decline rapidly until there's only a few individuals left. By this point, Skull Island was pretty much breaking apart, forcing them into smaller habitats and even higher competition with both herbivores and carnivores alike, till the island gave in and they became extinct due to the whole island just sinking into the Pacific. One large earthquake caused it. But, they managed to, during their reign, they managed to hold out pretty well, and, they made a decent impression on the island itself, being generalist browsers, occasional grazers. They had a very broad diet to help accommodate for all the other herbivores that had similar diets, the Fructus being one of them. On the bright side, there was some niche partitioning between the Arsinoitherium and the Fructus, due to the fact that these guys were able to stand on hind legs, partially being able to reach up higher and sometimes knocking fruits down with their front legs. And during specific combat with Fructus, they were able to either use these sharp horns or able to push down on the Fructus's face with the large paw-like front feet, I guess you could say. Very convergent with paws, oddly enough, with even some points of dexterity. not being able to fully close in their hands, but being semi-retractable in the sense that they can kind of move it this way, to help reach down for food and various other things. So pretty much here's a tree. They can lift themselves up a little bit, grab on, and then kind of pull down with their weight. Again, the giant horns on this animal were very much needed, mostly just for defense on the island that they live on. Being semi-self-sharpening, with only really needing to be rubbed up against rocks and various trees, they help by growing into a mostly sharp-edged point along the axis of the horns here. It's pretty much with it being a slightly lighter color from the constant snapping and breaking off and then regrowing. These animals need a lot of calcium to help a lot of these horns and stuff grow, and have been known to gnaw on the carcasses of animals, especially the bones, to help get said calcium, along with salt licks from various mountains. Being able to, when they climb up to sleep up into the mountains, some of them stay for a day or two to get to the various salt and mineral deposits. The males are around roughly 12 to 13 feet tall at the shoulder, being larger than an African bush elephant, and anywhere from 23 to 26 feet long. Pretty large for an animal, but in Skull Island, this is pretty much the norm. Very well in defending themselves, but again, there are certain creatures they're not able to overcome. For example, the brontosauruses, they have to be careful not to be trampled by the brontosauruses. Vestatosaurus will eat them, usually working in pairs, of which this creature has different methods of handling in those situations. Typically, when it's one Vestatosaurus, they'll get up on their hind legs and start swinging with the front paw-like legs, showing off their fearsome claws, while swinging their head around, showing off the incredible horns here. When there's two of them, if they somehow manage to escape, they'll usually charge head-on, going underneath the Vestatosaurus, slashing at the legs and underbelly with these impressive, pretty much biological axes. And if they do manage to cause enough damage, they'll run. They'll take off, trying to cut through the underbrush and hiding low, aided by the camouflage of their dark skin and the moss that ends up growing on them half the time. Because despite their incredible speed of what they're capable of, they usually move slow enough to let algae and other pieces grow on their bodies. They are very good swimmers, able to hold their breath up to 35 minutes, and mostly able to close their nostrils. Some of them have actually found quite a good success in pretty much swamp living in the swamps, being too large for most of the predators, except having problems with certain pteranodon individuals, of which they're usually able to fend off with their axe-like horns. Yep, the male you guys see here is a very old bull. Yep, it's an old bull. Probably died somewhere around the time that Skull Island either sank or when they set up a small research facility there. It could have been shot in self-defense, since these creatures are very aggressive towards smaller animals. They are solitary for the most part, of course, joining in towards the breeding season. Females being the most protective during their, with their calves, as you would say, and being willing to fight to the death to protect said calves, while bulls have generally no, have no involvement with raising the kids. Pretty much they mate and then they leave. So that's pretty much the biology part. If you guys have any questions about the beast, let me know. I'd love to answer them. Personally, I love this thing. It took me a long time to make, but I do not regret it. I think it came out wonderfully. Here you got the teeth, some old cavities down there, some broken pieces of tooth. You got the beard, you got the moose-like beard. Got some of the hairs on the on the ear there. Got the inner ears. You got all the hell? What's that all about? I don't recall that being there. Huh. Must have chipped. Damn. I must have forgot to cover that with the Mod Podge. Well, I'll fix that. No biggies. Or no biggie. Yeah. So then, of course, you got the Indian rhinoceros-esque armor, or esque armor, which, again, lives on Skull Island. You guys could probably know why it has that. This thing was mostly made out of caulk. Pretty much entirely made out of caulk. If anybody remembers when I first started on this beast almost a year ago, it was made out of the skull of an actual Arsinoitherium, like the skull was it was from like a Safari LTD pack, like those packs that they give you with the horns, or sorry, with the fossilized animal skulls. I think I might have like one or two of them around here. No idea where that Entelodont one went. I'd keep that if I could find it. But yeah, and then the body was a bull, just like a regular bull, like a cow type bull, and then these feet originally were like a tiny elephant feet that I built around. And funny thing, you guys are probably wondering what this is. When I put the Mod Podge on its feet, I forgot, and I sat it down on the paper over there that I paint on. And the paper actually got glued to its feet, and I ripped it off, and it just attached to the foot. Now, normally I would try to, there ain't no fixing it. Like, it's just like that now, because Mod Podge is glue. But, ironically, I actually don't mind it, because, check it. Kind of just slides across stuff now, I don't really have a problem moving it. So, that's nice. Except maybe right there. There's another white spot. I'll have to fix that. But anyways, yeah, besides the little pieces I gotta fix and the Mod Podge that I did, yeah, he's pretty much done. So again, I'll give you guys another quick look over. There's his lip, his eye, his other eye, the creases, the scars all over his body. Little horns up here, pieces of armor. He got about, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You got the big one, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 13. He got about 13 plates on his body as a whole. But yeah, and then of course the tail. Made the tail. I love how this tail turned out. By the way, that's a nice looking tail. Got the butthole there and the Peter, and all that. And then of course you got the all the nice texture in here. Like I said, this dude is mostly caulk. So, yeah, there he is. Skull Island Arsinoitherium. I love him. I love how he turned out. I hope you guys love him too. He's a nice dude. So anyways, I hope you guys have a great day. And, again, if you have any questions, I'd love to answer them. I'll see you guys with the next creature. Or the next review, actually. I have a beast I'd actually like to review. I'd give you guys a quick little look of him. Give this guy a quick review afterwards. Yeah, that'd be cool. But anyway, all right, I'll see you guys. Have a good one.